very, very confident that he's going to fucking kick the arse off this room. Would you please give a big Saturday night Newcastle stand welcome to Mr. George Zack? Come on!
Hello! Hello, Newcastle! Hello! Hey, my name is George. It's good for me to play in Newcastle. They support the local acts and I live here. I'm pretty sure by now you'll understand I'm not actually from Newcastle. I'm from Sunderland, but it's nice. You do realize I'm not actually from Sunderland, right? I'm actually Greek. Thank you. I have to tell people I'm Greek as soon as I go on stage, because obviously I've got a bit of an accent. I mean, not a bit of an accent, I'm fully aware, I've got a proper fucking accent, there's no hiding that. But in England, when you hear an accent, you're always trying to place it, do you not? Always trying to place it. You hear a Scottish accent, you know this person is probably from Scotland. You hear a Cockney accent, you know this person is probably a dick. Now, I've lived in Newcastle for too long. But if I don't tell you guys where I'm from with this accent, all of you will spend the entire night thinking, fuck's he from? Be at least one of you will go, mate, I got it. India. I don't blame you if you think India. I've been in Newcastle for 12 years and I still have this ridiculous sounding accent, you know. I'm never going to lose it, you know. Like, in fairness, like I've lost it, like in my head. Like in my head, my accent is like well posh, you know. Like in my head, me and the royal family share the exact same accent, you know. But sometimes I record myself. And every time I listen back to myself, I am painfully reminded. It's not really Prince Harry, is it? It's more like Borat. I like Newcastle. Are you all Geordies? Give me a cheer. It's nice. I like Newcastle. I came here when I was 18, and when I was 18, I learned a few things about the place I arrived in. First thing I learned is, no matter how good my English is, makes no fucking difference. I am in Newcastle now, and I'm going to learn the fuck out all over again. Second thing I learned, I had my 18th birthday in Newcastle. Yeah. And my birthday is on October 31st, which is Halloween, isn't it? It's Halloween. And Halloween, you too as well. Brilliant. But it's a weird thing, isn't it? Like, for my 18th birthday, you go out on the big market on Halloween. It's quite an experience, isn't it? You walk down the big market on Halloween, you can't tell who's dressed up. Or who's actually bleeding. Impossible. And I like it here. I've been here for long enough now, and when I go back, it's quite a weird feeling because my parents, like I've changed, of course I've changed, and I'm becoming a little bit like you, of course. All my adult life I've been in England, right? So I've assimilated. Like even my girlfriend is English. I know, coming over here, stealing your women, but I've done it, right? And it's nice, and when I go back, my parents are a bit, because I've changed, they tell me I'm anti-Greek. It's a very weird feeling to be told you're anti-Greek by your family, right? I'm anti-Greek, and I'll tell you why. Because when I go back, I take the piss out of my country, out of my friends, out of my city, because that's what you guys do all the time. Self-deprecation is what you do, and I've learned it now, and that's what when I go back, I make fun of my, of where I come from. But it's a very weird feeling, because, I mean, like, Greeks are very proud, right? They're a very proud nation. They're like Americans in a way. You know how Americans go, USA, USA. Greeks are the same. They're like, you know, Greece. It's the same sort of thing. So when I go back, it's a very weird thing. Plus, you know what banter is in Greece? Right, well, this is banter, right? Where are you from? I'm from Athens. Where are you from? I'm from Crete. How's Athens? Well, Athens is great, mate. It's got loads of things to see. Very cosmopolitan. Very busy. Nice. Crete is better. It's got a nice beach, nice mountains, nice weather. That's banter. That's not how I understand banter. What I've learned for banter, what I do for banter is, you kind of, where are you from? Gateshead. It's shit. You're very funny. And when I go back as well, my mum, like, she goes, oh George, when you go into England and you do the comedy thing, you know, make sure you tell people how amazing Greece is, how incredible the country is, how great we are. And I'm like, all right, what should I say? She goes, well, you know, Greece was like 2,500 years ago. We had an advanced civilization, democracy, we were first mathematics, we had like the Parthenon, everything was happening, even back then. People lived in caves and we had all these amazing things. It's brilliant. And I'm like, right, but it wasn't you, was it? You've done nothing towards that thing. I mean, if anything, your immediate ancestors have fucked this country up so much. We owe money to the Germans, which is shit to begin with. The Parthenon looks like a piece of shit building that somehow convinced the world it's amazing, right? Should be condemned. This building, well, what's with the Parthenon? It looks empty. Oh, we don't have the statues. They're not the Parthenon. Where are they? You know where they fucking are, don't you? They're here, aren't they? They're in the British Museum. They're part of the... It's a very weird thing, because the British Museum has got the marbles, Parthenon marbles, and Greece wants them back, and the museum says you can't have them back. And Greece says, why? The museum says, well, because in Greece things are very volatile, you might damage them, you might ruin them, you might otherwise do something bad, but here we maintain them perfectly, very high standards of maintenance, and it's free for the whole world to see. So I went, right? And you know how it feels like going to the British Museum? It's like going to the house of the bloke who stole your TV. To see your TV on his wall and have him go, how do you like your telly on my wall? Oh, it looks amazing, mate. It's very well maintained. And thanks for letting me in for free, I really appreciate that. Can I have it back? No, you'll break it. But if you do really miss your telly, tell you what, on the way out, you can buy 5 photographs of your telly for £3. You can stick them on the fridge. When I went to London as well, I found myself in a very awkward situation. I found myself in a very cringe-worthy situation to share with you. It was very weird. I was down there, and I was meant to gig with a guy called Ola, who was a good friend of mine. I had met him before in Brighton. We had a gig together, and it was brilliant. And you know, when you meet someone and you're looking forward to seeing him again. So I was in London looking forward to see him. He was on the same bill. I arrived late. He's first on. It's quite dark when I arrived. He's just backstage. It's 3 minutes before he goes on. I go there. I'm like, all right, mate, how's it going? He goes, I'm good. How are you? I said, I'm brilliant. It's good to see you again. Did you enjoy Brighton? And he went, yeah. Brighton was alright. And I could see it in his eyes. The guy had no fucking idea whether I was right. And I was like, I wasn't quite angry. I don't know why. I was like, why? How dare you not remember me, mate? I was like, it's George, Zach. I'm like the funniest Greek comic in the northeast of England. Which is quite niche. We had a great weekend in Brighton together, which sounds all kinds of weird, right? He goes, mate, look, I can't talk to you right now, I'm just about to go on stage, we'll talk later. He goes on stage, I go to the front of the room to watch him do his comedy. As I'm watching him, I realised it wasn't him. Entirely different guy. And I had to apologise, didn't I? Because but the thing was, right, they were dressed the same, suit jacket, jeans, denim and baseball cap. Suit jacket and baseball cap is very distinctive, isn't it? Plus they look very similar, the same facial hair. He goes dark by there. I was expecting to see one guy. I saw someone who replaced him last minute and they looked similar. So when I went back, I said, mate, look, I've been a dick. I'm really sorry. I thought you were all that. Obviously you replaced him. It's, you know, I apologise. And he goes, oh, I can see why, because we do the rest quite similar. I know, well, he's good friends. I'm like, oh, good. Then the third guy, who wasn't even in the conversation, he went, ooh. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? Is it because they're both black? Which, I mean, which my heart dropped. He just let it linger there in the air, like fucking fart. You know? Is it because they're both black? And I went, well, yes. Both of these people being black played a major role as to why I confused. If you're ever going to confuse two people, they better be the same fucking race. Because we've all confused people, haven't we? But I'm willing to bet all of us have confused a white person with a white person, a black person with a black person, a Chinese person with a Japanese person. We've all done it, right? But if you've ever confused a black person with a white person, you're fucking mental. And I know this guy. This guy was the kind of guy that was going around going, oh, I see past this kind of thing, me. I don't notice the color of someone's skin. Of course you fucking notice, right? Like, if you don't notice the color of someone's skin, you will make a terrible eyewitness at the crime. How did he look? Oh, denim jeans, blue top, black hair, foreign accent, you know, about 6 foot, average build. How about his ethnicity? White, black, I'm not sure, right? I'm very good at it. I think what I'm trying to say, right, if you're going to take anything away from this, what I'm trying to say is, people from the same race don't necessarily look alike, unless they do. And it's a very weird thing as well. I love you. Recently my girlfriend has been making fun of me because I'll tell you why, right? Because, well, right. I'm circumcised, okay? It's not because of that, though. It's not because of that. She's been making fun of me because I only found out last June. But in my defense, I'm Greek and I'm not meant to be circumcised, and I was raised Christian and Christians are not circumcised. So really, if I'm not meant to be circumcised and no one tells me, what am I supposed to know? And I'm not an idiot. I knew my penis looked a bit different. I knew that. I knew it. I knew it was a bit different. I knew how a circumcised penis is supposed to look like. But I vividly remember there was one time in my life when my penis was fully covered with skin, right? And I genuinely grew up to believe there's just too much dick for the amount of skin around it. No amount of skin can cover this monster dick. And you know how I found out? I found out when I did a thing in London called Naked bike ride, and you go around London, and you cycle around London naked, and it's brilliant, right? It's good. I went out with my best mate Tom, and we did it. It was great. We had a lot of fun. Then I flew back to Greece, and he emailed me the photographs, and he went, oh, here's the photographs. By the way, had a job? I said, no. He was like, you definitely haven't. I haven't. He was like, you definitely have. Because I was in Greece, I asked my mum, I said, Mum, have I been circumcised? And she said, yes. I said, fucking why? Why would you do the baby? Why was it the baby? My mum was like, it's more hygienic. I'm like, allegedly. Like, I know how to wash. What do you expect? Like, I'm a fucking idiot. My mum was like, well, why are you so angry? Like, you're 29 years old. How did you just find out now? And I was like, well, fucking Tom told me. I'm going to go now. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Greek Jordi. No. I know, got no imagination. Greek Jordi, right? Have I been too Greek? I'll tell you why. I'll give you this. When I was gigging somewhere, and I had this guy, and I went upstairs. I was on stage. I was like, "Hello guys, how are you? Having a nice night?" And this guy went, "Mate, that's preposterous," and he walked off. What the fucking heckle that is? Preposterous, right? I was like, what's wrong with this guy? And then when I finished my gig, he came to me, he goes, would you like some feedback? I said, yeah mate, anything I've done will improve on my act. What have I done wrong? And he went, oh, now I'm listening to your accent off stage, I realise it's real. But when I first heard it, I thought it was a bit too much. Frankly, I found you a little bit too Greek. That's the worst kind of feedback because there's nothing I can do about this accent, right? Too Greek is really. I was really offensive. It's frustrating. I was really angry. I was so angry. I went home and smashed every plate in the house.